Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I'm your teacher Naveed Anjum Naveed with another lesson of grammar. Today, we are formally starting parts of speech. And parts of speech in English language begin with noun. Noun is not a new topic for you. It's very familiar and common topic. Let's begin with the definition. Nouns are naming words. Names of persons, places and things etc. are called nouns. By thing, we mean anything. It could be a physical thing or a non-physical one. We'll explain the concept when we study abstract nouns. It's a part of today's lesson. Let's have a few examples of nouns. Boy, girl, city, town, chair, table, etc. Boy and girl are names of persons. City and town, names of places. Chair and table, these are names of things. And now, classification of noun. We'll be using this term classification again and again in our class of grammar. So let me explain the term once and for all. Classification means to divide things into different classes, groups or categories on the basis of similarities and differences. We'll be doing this in our class of grammar also. When we classify the words of English language, they are categorized as parts of speech. Then each part of speech can further be categorized into its types. And the first type of noun is common noun. Let's begin with the definition. The names of ordinary things, persons and places etc. are called common nouns. By ordinary things or persons, we don't mean that the names of ordinary people like teachers, shopkeepers, etc. are common nouns, whereas those of generals, government officers, political leaders are uncommon nouns. That's not the case. It means that common noun is a word that can be used for each and every member of its group. Let's have a few examples. Man, woman, village, mountain, bottle, plate, etc. Now you see, every man is a man, no matter how ordinary or extraordinary, how important or unimportant he is. You can use this word for every man, irrespective of the fact what or who that person is. That's what we mean by common nouns. The next type of noun is proper noun. Let's take a look at the definition. The names of particular things, persons and places etc. are called proper nouns. They are always capitalized. Let's have a few examples. John, Alia, Rawalpindi, Magla, Quran, Oxford, etc. John is the name of a man. Now you can compare it with the common noun man. Every man is a man, but every man is not John. John is the name of a particular person. Now this term particular person or things also needs a bit of explanation here. Students often argue with me that John could be the name of thousands of people around the world. It literally is. So how is it particular? Apparently the argument seems to be very strong, but actually it's not. Maybe that's the case. But in real life situations, things are different. When we say John, maybe John is the name of thousands of people. Admitted. But when we say John is late today, we don't mean all those thousands of people who are named John. We mean a particular John whom we know. Alia could be the name of thousands of girls around the world. But when Ranbir Kapoor says, I am waiting for Alia, he means a particular girl named Alia. I hope you know her. Ranbir is not a very reliable person and you can expect him to wait for anyone, anytime, anywhere. But still, I think when he says, I'm waiting for Alia, it's this girl he is waiting for. You'll agree with me. And you'll also agree with the argument that proper nouns refer to particular persons. This is how they refer to particular persons, places, or things. The next type of noun is collective noun. As the name suggests, this type must be related to some kind of collection of things. Let's take a look at the definition. The names of groups of things, persons and places, etc. are called collective nouns. Let's have a few examples. Class, it's a group of students. Bunch, it could be a group of flowers or maybe grapes. Crowd, army, it's a group of soldiers. Herd, flock, team, bouquet, etc. Some of my students tend to get confused even over here. They confuse these collective nouns with the plural of other types of nouns. They argue that the word boys and girls, they also make the sense of a group. How are they different from these collective nouns? It's very simple. There is no need to get confused. There is a big difference. You need to remember 2 points here. Number one, a collective noun is not a group of itself. A class is not a group of classes. A bunch is not a group of bunches. A class is a group of students. And a bunch is a group of flowers or maybe grapes. But if I ask you, what is the word boys a group of? There'll be no answer. The point number 2 that you need to remember over here is that a collective noun is a group word. It makes the sense of a group even when it's singular. Class is singular and its plural is classes. Boys is already plural. When you turn it into singular, there is no more sense of a group. A boy is just a boy, single boy. A girl is just a girl. No more sense of group. So if you keep these 2 points in your mind, you'll never get confused between collective nouns and the plural of other types of nouns. The next type is material noun. As the name suggests, the names of materials are called material nouns. Let's take a look at a few examples. Wood, copper, leather, plastic, sugar, butter, oil, cotton, etc. Remember that the names of basic materials only are called material nouns. The names of things or objects made out of those materials are not material nouns, they are mostly common nouns. For example, wood is a material noun, but chair is a common noun. Leather is a material noun, but jacket is a common noun. Sugar and butter are material nouns, but cake and pastry are common nouns. Cotton is a material noun, but shirt is a common noun. But the case of cotton is slightly different. Cotton is not used to make shirts directly. It's used to make cloth or fabric. And cloth and fabric themselves are basic materials used to make so many things like bags, curtains, shirts, pants, etc. So cotton is a material used to make things which are themselves treated as basic materials. So how to distinguish material nouns from other types of nouns? There is a simple tip. The names of materials, such materials only will be called material nouns about which we can say that this material has been used to make this or that object or thing. I can say that this cloth is made of cotton. So cotton is a material noun. I can also say that this bag is made of cloth. So cloth is also a material noun. But I can't say that this or that object has been made of bags. So bag is a common noun. That's the difference. The next type is compound noun. Compound nouns are made by combining 2 or more words. Take a look at the examples. Notebook, bedroom, farmhouse, tissue paper, handcuff, ice cream, cell phone, handkerchief, goldsmith, whiteboard, etc. Prima facie, the concept seems to be very simple. But many students find it difficult to understand the difference between compound nouns and ordinary noun phrases. What's the difference? Let's explain. Take a look at these examples. Wall clock, tall man, toothbrush, cold water. Out of these 4 examples, just 2 are compound nouns. The other 2 are noun phrases. Wall clock and toothbrush are compound nouns. Tall man and cold water are just ordinary noun phrases. What's the difference? Remember that compound nouns are specific terms used for specific things, and even when those things don't have the characteristics as mentioned by the compound nouns, or even when they are used for a purpose different from the purpose they were actually made for, they are still called by the same compound noun. That's not the case with ordinary noun phrases. For example, we know that a wall clock is called a wall clock because wall clocks are usually hung on walls. But even when a wall clock is lying in the counter of a shop, we'll still call it a wall clock. It does not have to be hanging on a wall to be called a wall clock. Similarly, toothbrushes are usually used to brush teeth. That's why we call them toothbrushes. Yet, even when a toothbrush is being used to apply hair color or for any other purpose, we'll still call it a toothbrush. It will still keep its name. That's not the case with ordinary noun phrases. A tall man will be called a tall man only when he is tall. When he is not tall, you can't call him a tall man. Cold water is called cold water when it is cold. When it's not cold, you can't call it cold water, but a wall clock will be a wall clock wherever it is. And a toothbrush will remain a toothbrush for whichever purpose it's used. That's the difference between compound nouns and noun phrases. Next is abstract noun. Abstract means non-physical. So the names of things that do not exist physically are called abstract nouns. They are the names of conditions, procedures, processes, activities, states, feelings, concepts, ideas, etc. Interestingly, all the words inside these quotation marks are themselves abstract nouns. Let's have more examples. Peace, the name of a condition. Fear, it's a feeling. Justice, happiness. Decoration, selection, the name of an activity. Joy, a feeling. Hardness, the name of a quality. Abstract nouns are also not without their catch. Let's look at the catch, the difficulty. Many students mix them up with other parts of speech. For a word to be an abstract noun, it has to be a noun first. Let's see how. Now, here we've got 4 words. Add, additional, additionally, addition. Now, one of them is a verb, one is an adjective, one adverb, and only one of these 4 words is a noun. It's an abstract noun, of course. So how to tell? Well, with some basic sense of language, those who have got just an average grip over English language can easily tell which one of the 4 words is a noun. Add is a verb, additional adjective, additionally adverb, and addition is noun. Yet, some of you might get confused at times. So what to do when there is a confusion? When you are unable to tell whether the word is a noun or not? Use the word in a sentence. That's the solution. We're going to use all these 4 words in sentences and we'll try to guess which part of speech they are through their function in the sentences. So let's take a look. She added some milk to her tea. You see, add has got a past form also, so it proves it to be a verb. The next sentence. We need an additional package for this. We subject, need verb, package object. What kind of package? Additional package. Additional is modifying package. Package is a noun. Additional is a noun modifier. So, adjective. The next sentence. Additionally, she had to drive the truck herself on her way back. Well, she is the subject here. Drive verb, truck object. What's additionally doing here? Additionally is modifying the whole sentence. So, it's sentence adverb. Let's take a look at the next sentence. Addition is the easiest mathematical operation. If I ask you what's the subject of this sentence, your answer will be addition. Now remember that the basic functions of nouns in sentences are subject and object. It has got other roles also, but these are its basic functions. So whenever a word functions as the subject of a sentence or some kind of object, you can be almost sure that it's a noun of some kind. So its functioning as the subject of the sentence proves it to be a noun. So whenever there is a confusion, try using the concerned word, the relevant word in a sentence, and try to know which part of speech it is, judging by its function in the sentence. This is how we'll try to overcome our confusion. This is how we'll try to be sure whether a particular word is a noun or not. Let's have some more examples. The examples are very similar, so I'm not going to explain them. You can just look at them and try to understand. I do hope you'll be able to tell which one of the four words is an abstract noun. It's very simple and easy. Just compare these examples with the previous examples. And now, concrete noun. All types of nouns other than abstract nouns are also called concrete nouns. Basically, concrete is the antonym of abstract. And as opposed to abstract, anything that is made up of matter and has got a physical existence is concrete. There will be no examples, as all the examples I have quoted so far in today's lesson, other than the abstract nouns, are also concrete nouns. A common noun is a common noun, but at the same time it's also a concrete noun. A collective noun is a collective noun, but at the same time it's a concrete noun. There is only one condition, that it must be made up of matter and it must have a physical existence. We'll now discuss how they make questions out of concrete nouns. There will be a statement, which one of the following is a concrete noun? Out of the four options, 3 will be abstract nouns and 1 any other type of noun, and that will be the right option. Sometimes the statement is, which one of the following is not a concrete noun? In such questions, 3 options consist of any other types of nouns other than abstract noun, and 1 is abstract noun, and that is not a concrete noun. So reading the statement carefully is very, very important, and you must not make a choice before you have gone through all the options. That's the protocol of attempting MCQs. And now, countable and uncountable nouns. Countable and uncountable nouns are not any separate or specific types of nouns. Nouns are simply classified as countable or uncountable on the basis of the fact whether they are counted or measured. Let's take a look at a few examples. First, countable nouns: banana, egg, dog, star, apple, car, chair, book. Some students argue that stars are uncountable. Well, when we say countable, we don't mean that we are to count them all. Anything that can be counted as 1, 2, 3 will be a countable noun. I can say 1 star, 2 stars, 3 stars, and that makes it countable. And now, uncountable nouns: water, sugar, rice, butter, oil, oxygen, cloth, soap. All these things can be measured, not counted. I can't say 1 water, 2 waters, 3 waters. And that's what makes them uncountable nouns. Some students say that they can count rice. Well, what they are counting is not rice. They are counting the grains of rice. And grain itself is a noun, and as a noun, it's a countable noun. Similarly, some students say that they can count soap. Again, what they are counting is not soap. They are counting the cakes of soap. Certain uncountable things are used in specific measures or containers so regularly that people start treating them as countable. Instead of counting the specific measure or containers, they start counting the thing itself. When you say 3 drinks, you actually mean 3 bottles or cans of drink. In a sentence, he bought 3 drinks. This noun drink will be treated as a countable noun, but it actually means 3 bottles or cans of drink. Basically, soap and drink, they are both uncountable. But it's because of their regular use in specific measures or containers that people have started treating them as countable nouns. This is the difference between countable and uncountable. And now it's your turn. It's activity time. Identify and classify nouns. You should pause the video here and attempt the activity first. Attempt it in your notebook or on a sheet of paper, and play the video only once you have finished the activity. Don't look at the answer key in advance. The answer key is following. If you've come so far without finishing the activity, please go back. You are too close to the answer key.